right, we'd like to welcome you to Quilt Show Reno's live interviews with the teachers. Today we have Quiltoni and Marjan Kluepfel, two completely different ways of quilting. But as you know, when you learn techniques, you can take a little bit of these techniques and these techniques from the different teachers and combine them into creating your own way of quilting or fabric arts or just creating in general, whether you're doing paper art or the more techniques you learn, the more you can fuse together to create what you design. So we're just going to jump right in. We're going to go with Marjan first today. So I hope you're ready, Marjan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the fiber arts?
Okay, well, as everyone can hear, I have an accent. I'm not from the US originally. So I grew up in Holland. And at the time that I grew up, no one was making quilts. So I approached the quilts that I make now completely different than traditional quilting because I come from a painting background. And then I found out that fabrics are a whole lot more fun to work with than paint and paper. So that's how I got into my art quilt making.
Perfect. Okay, so you're going to be teaching. You have taught in the past at Quilt Show Reno, but you are one of the favorites, so you're coming back again, which we're super grateful for. So what classes are you offering this year?
Okay, I'm offering my very popular 3D sculpture class, but that one is already full, unfortunately. But still, if people want to know about my techniques, stop by the classroom and you can see the students work there. I'll be teaching my landscape classes. Those are also very popular. And I noticed that my first landscape class, which is mainly about techniques like bobbin drawing here, like thread painting. I don't know if you can see it well, but my techniques class has already filled up. But I'm teaching another landscape class, which is more into the design of how to translate your favorite photograph into a landscape art quilt. And for those students that would love to take a landscape class, but notice that my techniques class is full already, I encourage you to sign up for my other landscape class, because if you're not into, making your own design, your own drawing, I will have my patterns available in that class also. And so and the techniques, of course, are the same. So I will cover those. See, they're the California poppy fields. And, I talk about making use of commercial fabrics. Like the only reason I made this particular quilt is because I found this fabric and it reminded me of a sunset. So anyway, so that's the landscape classes. Then let me dig to the floor here. And another class that's I'm covering is my flower class. And as you can see, I like big flowers, big close-up of flowers. And I prefer to use my hand-dyed fabric, so that will be available in class. But batiks work really well for it too, because all these quilts that I'm showing you now are fused. So they're wall quilts, so I don't worry about raw edges. If anything, in my tree class, I actually prefer those, because if you look at the trunks, trunks have a lot of texture. It's kind of hard to see a big quilt like this, but you'll get a kind of the idea how the tree trunks are constructed out of lots of different little pieces of batiks. And here the foliage here is I use yarns, and I'll talk about all these different techniques. I talk about I will go back to my flowers. I'll talk about, I don't know if you can see it, the center of the sunflowers shows bobbin drawing and thread painting. So to me, that's just a lot of fun to cover different techniques and talk about that. So, this one here, I don't know if you can see that.
with the
The
borders.
bird's
That's
nest is
beautiful.
really little pieces of thread from the floor in my sewing room, and some Angelina fiber, the same that was used in my I don't know if I showed this one already or not, but anyway, um, in this particular landscape quilt, you see the Angelina fiber used in the Yosemite waterfall. So just lots of different techniques that I like to cover, and I'm teaching 6 different classes, so there's lots of choices, and 2 of them are full already. But so if you're interested in one of my classes, I hope you sign up soon. So that's what I wanted to show you. If you have specific questions or topics that you want me to cover, just let me
So,
know.
well, Carolyn Gavranich is on. She's watching and she says hello.
Hello.
Um,
Yeah,
do
hi.
so are these classes, I mean, they look pretty intimidating. Are they good for people who are beginners, who are just dipping their toes into the more artsy side? Because we all kind of start out with traditional quilting typically, and then we kind of move on to other
Right.
things. So
Yeah,
would these be
Beth, that is a very good question. I'm glad you asked that, because I've been teaching for close to 30 years now, and I had to learn it the hard way, because in the beginning when I was teaching, I just thought everyone go play by themselves, and some people enjoy that, others not so much. So now, after all these years of experience teaching, I figured out that most people love to have patterns to work from.
for
So
sure?
I offer lots of different patterns. Um, if fabric choices tend to be difficult, so I help them, of course, with that in class. But using hand-dyed fabrics helps a lot too, because I dye my fabrics with specific uh, uh, subjects in mind, like the fabric I showed for the poppy. I dyed on
Mhm.
purpose poppy color, so that helps a lot. Because the way I personally like to take classes is I want to learn something new. So I don't want to be stuck, cutting out fabrics for 4 hours. I want to learn different techniques. So my patterns are relatively simple. They're quick to work with. The fusing technique is very fast. So we get to do all the other um, uh, techniques also. Definitely, I will talk about them also. Not everyone may get to working with all the different techniques in 4-hour class, but you'll go home with a lot of knowledge to finish the quilt top that you most likely be able to fuse in class. Don't worry about being intimidated. Um, I try to not be intimidating. I try to, be there for everyone to help them. So
Right, and you kind of simplify it for them so that they can learn the basic techniques and then go home and expand on that themselves.
correct. That's exactly
Mhm.
right. Yes.
Mhm. Perfect. Okay, well, does anybody have any questions for Marjan? We have a couple people that have joined later, so if you have any questions, Marjan is teaching 6 classes at Quilt Show Reno. She's got dimensional flowers using the heat moldable batting. So if you've never been introduced to that, that's there. We have so many products in this industry. We have so many products that we don't even know what they're used for. So it's great to
Yeah.
get kind of an introduction into that. Look at that vessel. That is so beautiful. Yeah. And the tree one, show the tree one, because that one you kind of showed earlier. And I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. The tree one. It's a little bit big, so I don't know if you can see it. The top and then
Yeah,
the bottom
it's
with the roots. So lots of embellishments, which I love to use too. Lots of different embellishments. It's just a really fun class, and
right.
that's really low pressure, because we just do a lot of sewing on the sewing machines that are provided. So you don't even have to bring your machine. And so, because I developed this class because all of us quilters have lots of fabric. We all know how to sew. And, after a while, you want to use your your abilities and your materials that you have for something else than just a quilt. And really, that's all you need to know to take this class. Just sew straight lines. So
Perfect. And probably if you don't sew super straight, you'll be okay.
yeah. Oh yeah, actually, well, you can see it up close. I'm not much of a straight sewer at all, and that's why I like to make organic forms, because nothing is straight in nature, you know. So
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't do anything where I have to be perfect and straight. Precision is not my specialty.
no,
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
here.
Okay, perfect. Well, we want to thank you so much for taking time this morning to join us and show us what you're teaching at Reno. If we have any questions, you can always type them into the comments, and we'll make sure that we get the questions to Marjan to answer them for you. But you can go to quiltshowreno.com and sign up for classes. Also, Marjan, you have a website. So if they want to go and pre-pick patterns or anything, can they do that?
Yes, yeah, they can definitely email me when they have questions. Sure, if they prefer to work with the pattern, you know, before class, yes, just email me. If you forget how to, you know, how to write my name, you know, you just start typing Marjan and quilt, and you'll find me, because I think I'm the only quilter in the U.S. with this name here. So
you are, for sure. That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your website?
My website is my name, marjankluepfel.com.
Okay, perfect.
But like I said, if you Google Marjan, Marjan, then that's what you get.
Perfect. And I know there are some people that will watch later that will maybe not necessarily coming to the show, but they can always go to your website and order patterns and your hand-dyed fabrics.
Yeah, well, I'm not set up to sell directly from my website, because I'm kind of lazy. Well, actually, I'm not lazy. I just prefer quilting over packing and shipping stuff. So, so you can't order directly from my website. But if you've taken a class before and you know what you want, I can, of course, always, you can send me an email and I can just ship it to you, you know, but I don't have a shop on my website on purpose. Yeah. Are we still there? Hello?
I think she lost her microphone.
Oh, really?
Oh, there she is.
Sorry. I think the mail lady is, we don't usually do lives early in the morning, and I think the mail lady's at the door, so the dog's going crazy. And that's what happens with lives. Anyways, so make sure you go to Marjan's website to check out her projects, but you can also go to quiltshowreno.com and get signed up for her classes. And again, we want to thank you for joining us today, Marjan, and we'll see you. I think it's literally less than 2 months, so maybe 60 days till the show.
It's coming up soon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Beth. Thanks for the opportunity.
Have a great day.
And see you in Reno.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we're going to switch over. We have Quiltoni here from Canada, Eastern Canada. So she's going to be coming a very long distance. I think she's coming the furthest of everybody. So I'm going to just turn it over to you, because I know we've done this once before, and you're already an expert at everything, Facebook, YouTube, social media.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I actually tried to bring up all of the different live streams where you are to see the chat, and I think I missed a couple, but that's okay.
Oh, no. All right. So I know you were featured in the newsletter that went out this morning. So for those of you who are signed up for our newsletter, you can see all about Toni. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, just put that in the comments and we'll make sure we get you onto the Quilt Show Reno newsletters. Devin is sending those out now, my son. So, he's a little bit more techie than I am. So what are you going to be teaching?
So I'm teaching a couple of different things. The main one, of course, is pixel quilting, because that is what I'm known for. I've got 2 different pixel quilting classes. The first one, which is Hey, hold on. I know I grabbed the books. There it is. I've got so much stuff back here. The first one on Thursday from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock is I actually teach you how to design and create your own pixel quilts. So this isn't the one where you can take a photo and then drop it in and then it digitizes it for you and tells you all that. This is actual design work. So this is taking an image from the world around you and trying to figure out how to turn it into something that's more pixelated. So we'll talk about design work. We'll talk about, lots of stuff with that, fabric choices, borders, all sorts of cool things. And then also with pixel quilting, I am doing pixel quilting basics. So it is taking a look at my pattern line, which you can find on my website, quiltoni.com. I've got a bunch of patterns you can pick from. As long as you pick it before June the 1st and you shoot me a message, I can make sure that that kit for that pattern is ready for you. If not, then the pictures that you see, those are the kits that will be available first come, first serve to pick into class. So I'm a huge nerd. So my pattern line is a bunch of nerd things. So there's stuff based upon video games, pop culture, Doctor Who. If you're a horror fan, Cthulhu. There's a bunch. I have a mermaid. I have a T-Rex. I've got a bunch of different choices. And it basically teaches you efficient ways of sewing, not just with pixel quilting. Because I am currently the fastest quilter in the world. I have made a quilt top in 32 minutes. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records. So that's something I'll be teaching you in class as well, is, tips and tricks on, sewing strips together, on how to speed up your sewing if you so choose.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as a Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest sewer.
Oh, there is. In fact, when I'm not teaching classes, I'm going to be on the floor in my suit. I actually have a Formula One race suit that I'll be wearing, that I actually wore when I broke the world record. So yeah.
Huh. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. So that is, so I'll be teaching a lot of, those things in that class as well. And then I'm, again, a huge nerd. So I also do a lot of English paper piecing. So there are English paper piecing stuff that we're going to be doing. English paper piecing is super easy. If you've never done it, it's by hand. Oh, and anyone can take my classes, whether you're experienced, a beginner, new sewer, doesn't make a difference. I am also young person friendly. So if you have someone that is a young person, they are more than happy to take my classes, as long as, of course, they have an older person with them. They could make sure that they're not going to sew through their fingers. But the English paper piecing it's just basically choosing designs and throwing it together and just being a nerd, which is awesome.
So English paper piecing is by hand, correct?
Yes, it is by hand. We are going to be doing it in the Bernina serger room. So we are going to have machines, but everything is done by hand. But if you so choose to sew it together with a machine, I can also show you how to do that. So for anyone that is starting to experience arthritis in their hands like I am, English paper piecing by machine is always an option. But I'm going to be teaching basically by hand. But then if someone wants the machine option, we're in the machine room. I can definitely show you how to do that.
Huh. I didn't know you could do English paper piecing by hand.
Yeah.
By machine. I thought it was all by hand. I didn't know you could do it by machine.
There's a trick to it. And that's what I specialize in, finding shortcuts and finding the tricks in lots of things. So that's one of the tricks that I've figured out, and I've had, so I can show people how to do that. And the reason why we're in the serger room, did you know that sergers have endless bobbins?
Well, yes. Now that you make me think about it, yes, because they don't have bobbins.
Exactly. You can do your regular sewing. So you can do your regular piecing and sewing. Just do a 2-strand and you do 2 threads, and you're good to go. Just a top and a bottom, and just it's awesome. So you can use it for regular sewing. Yeah, so I can teach that. So English paper.
And then it trim as you're using the serger with the 2 threads. It trims as you go.
Exactly. So well, or you can drop the cutter if you decide not to.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, and I do believe that the serger room that you're going to be in it has the machine. Every time I interview about the machine, I feel like I might have to invest in a new serger. I've had found 4 sergers in my shop that I didn't even know were here. And so I have been using them in the last few weeks, making some clothing and things. But the serger that's going to be in the room that everybody's going to be using has so many perks. There's so many things you can do with it.
Oh yeah.
It is
so
not
cool.
like the serger that I grew up with as a kid. It's definitely not, it's definitely like a whole new animal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's so many different things that we're learning about sergers and then what we could do with them. And that's why I think most of my classes are in the serger room too, but
I think all of yours are, because you're Bernina, the Going Batty Quilt Shop is sponsoring you, and they're bringing you in, and they're sponsoring the Bernina serger room. So I think all of your classes are in the serger room.
Yeah, so that in all of my classes that are in that room, I will be talking about how you can use sergers, not just for clothing making and for doing the things that sergers do, finishing off edges, finishing off the edging of your quilt before you put your binding on. There's all sorts of things you can do, but you can use it for your regular sewing as well. And that's what we're going to be doing with most of my classes.
Oh my gosh. I'm really kind of baffled about that. I mean, I haven't been in the industry for 40 years, and it's like this whole new world has been opened up for me.
Oh, it's amazing. It doesn't matter how much we know with sewing, whether we're a beginner or whether we've been in the industry for 30, 40, 50 years, there's always something to learn. There's always new things coming out, not just with brand new things, but learning some of the older things. Like with pixel quilting, most people don't know that pixel quilting has been around since the 40s. In the 70s, we had watercolor quilts, which is a form of pixel quilting. So that's all. It's learning how to do things in new ways.
Right. Well, and also like in the class that you're teaching where they can design their own pattern, it is it's kind of even like the photo quilts where they take it into 2-inch squares. So they can literally do, once they learn the technique, they can do any photo or any.
Not photos. So I don't teach any of the photo stuff. So that's another designer. And the reason why I say that is because there's another designer that actually has software where you just take a photo and you drop it in and it does all the math and everything for all of your stuff. But I will be teaching the techniques of once you have that, there's different ways that you can put it together. You don't have to cut out each and every single little square and sew it together. So I'll be showing different options for then putting that together once you have that.
So even with the different, so I'm just gonna say, I did a watercolor quilt 1,000 years ago, and it is the one and only quilt that I actually threw in the trash can because it was 1,000 pieces. I rolled it up from class. I got it out. I don't know how many times I got it out and put it back together. And then I moved and I got it out like 10 years later. And I just looked at it and wanted to cry. And I gave myself permission to throw it away.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that in class, about the frustrations. Like I have a great story. So my mother, who learned quilting about the same time that I did, after I started, teaching and going out and doing all this stuff, my mom's like, you know what? I'm going to make a pixel quilt for your nephew. I'm like, fantastic. And she said, okay, I'm going to do a Minecraft quilt. I'm like, great. Would you like me to make you a pattern? She goes, nope. I've got it. I'm like, okay, well, how are you doing it? She goes, I'm going to cut out each and every little square and I'm going to sew it all together. I'm like, Mom, you're going to not finish this. You are going to get frustrated. It's going to take you too long. You're not going to, I'm going to finish. She did not finish. She cut it all out, started to sew it together and went, this is too much, and stopped. So that we're going to be talking about that in class, about different ways you can speed that up and make it more efficient, because I have major ADHD, and if I don't get it done fast, it's not getting done.
Right. I think most of us in today's world are like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we'll be talking about a lot of that stuff as well.
So even if they're more traditional quilters, these designs are great for like their grandkids or even their 40-year-olds that are into gaming. But if they were more traditional quilters, like you have the Starry Night pattern, I believe.
Yeah, the Starry Night is not an option for class because that takes about 4 to 6 months to make.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it is-
I might have ADD and get lost.
Yeah, it is. That is a super advanced quilt because
Okay.
it's the Starry Night from Van Gogh.
Yes.
It is a
It's
very
beautiful. I've seen it.
Thank you. It is a very,
Yes.
very advanced quilt. I normally say do at least one of my other pixel patterns or be a very, very experienced quilter before you tackle that. And I will be launching next month that I will have some patterns at Quilt Show Reno. The next pattern I'm launching is the Great Wave.
Ooh, I like it.
The painting of the Great Wave. And I'm
Yes.
so excited for this. So that is also another advanced pattern.
Okay. Okay. So in the English paper piecing, will you have kits for
Yes.
them, or do they bring their own designs? Or
No, we will have kits for them to pick. And that's another thing. If they want to go to my website, quiltoni.com, and look at the EPP section, if there is something where they're like, oh my gosh, I love this, I want to bring it, by all means, there are 2 that I am launching next month that are not on the website yet, but that if you decide that you want to do that, you can.
Okay.
It is Derpy Tiger from K-Pop Demon Hunters and C3PO. So if you're like, I want to do one of those, just, yeah. So as long as they email me by June the 1st, I will make sure that we get the kits together and ready for them.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we really want to thank and shout out to Going Batty for bringing you to Reno.
Oh, and don't forget the Bargello quilts too. We didn't talk about those yet.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about the Bargello quilts.
So Bargellos, people aren't aware that Bargellos are actually pixel quilts, because if you think about, it's all the little things all pixelated out in there, and it's just how you put it together. So it's completely different. So what we're going to be doing in that class is I'm going to show you not only the Bargello stuff, but I'm going to show you how you can design your own. So we're going to be taking jelly rolls and then we're turning them into patterns. And then you're actually going to figure out all the design work and figure out how to do that yourself. So there's 2 classes of that. There's one class where you're doing all the physical stuff, making it, doing, getting started, making your actual quilt. And that's an all-day class on June 13th, which is also my 50th birthday.
Whoa.
So if you join me for that class, we'll have a lot of fun. I may get some cupcakes for everyone to celebrate my birthday. I don't know.
I love it. I love it.
And if you can't make it to that, I do have a 1-hour lecture talking about the Bargello quilt technique that I can go through and show the basics of this is how you do it, and then give you some literature.
Perfect. Okay. So, with the Bargello quilt, do they need a kit or do they bring their own fabrics?
No, I think Going Batty is providing all of the stuff. So I think they've got it. Let me click on. Let me see what they put on here. Kit includes fabric for the Bargello quilt. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So really, they don't have to bring anything. They don't have to pre-think. They can just show up to the class. The machines will be there all ready to go. The fabric will be there. It is Reno. You could bring a cocktail, although I do hear you have to sew a little bit straight on the Bargellos.
No, straightish. I always say with all of my things,
kind of sewing straight.
Yeah, as long as you're straight-ish, that's fine. Yep. But that's the nice thing about the sergers as well in that room. You've got that guide. So it's going to be a straight line, whether you try it or not.
Oh, perfect. I'm telling you, the more I learn about sergers, the more I feel like I definitely need one that is not from the 80s.
Oh, I hated sergers. I was anti-serger until about 1.5 years ago when a friend of mine came out with his own skin on a really cool serger, and he brought me up on stage for a convention and forced me to play with the serger, and ever since then I'm hooked.
Yeah. The more I learn about it, it's very interesting. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the industry for so long, you kind of think you know everything that's out there, but every day I learn new things. And I think that's the great thing about taking classes. You might not love the project, but the techniques you're going to learn are going to help you to in your own sewing styles. Yeah.
And I firmly believe anyone who takes my class, the only thing I care about is you learn at least one new thing and you have fun.
Right. And if to me, that's what life is about.
Yeah.
We don't care about the end process. We just care about the journey and having a good time.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so anything else you want to let everybody know before we we start our day? I mean, your day is half over in Canada, but for us here for us here on the West Coast, we're literally just starting our day. I haven't had my first cup of coffee yet.
Yeah, no, my day is almost halfway gone already. So yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
So yeah, and if there's no questions or anything from anyone, and all that, I haven't seen anything pop up in the channels that I'm in.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. We want to thank you so much for joining us. We want to thank Going Batty for sponsoring you and bringing you. So even when you're not in the in classes, you'll be in the Going Batty booth. Yeah. And I believe will they be carrying your patterns and different things, or?
I'm not sure. I'm going to bring a bunch. So I'm not sure if they want me to handle that myself in the classes, or if they want to do that in the booths. I will my patterns will be there. We'll figure out where you can buy them.
Perfect. Perfect. So I know Going Batty has a lot of fun things planned in their booth. You're going to want to make sure to stop by. It's going to be hard not to stop by their booth because they are right at the entrance. But I know they've got drawings and they've got make and takes, and I don't know about this year. I haven't fine-tuned it with them yet, but I know last year every make and take you did in their booth with the different machines, just quick little tiny projects so you could learn about what different machines do. Even if you're not in the market for a machine, it is always great. Like I'm finding out, it's great to know what the machines are what they can do, what your options are. Because constantly the market, our industry, they're upgrading and they're learning and they're experimenting. And so that's kind of, I believe, I don't need another quilt, but I need to create. And so learning new techniques and improvising all of that into what I'm creating is fantastic. It just blows my mind. I love it. I love learning new stuff. So I'm super excited. I love being inspired. I'm really looking forward to all the things that Quilt Show Reno is bringing with all the different teachers and exhibits and displays and all that good stuff. So I want to thank you, Tony. I know you've got a super busy schedule. You're going to be on the road pretty soon, but I want to thank you for taking time to join us today. And we will see you in, 60 days or so.
Yeah. Yeah. Less than 2 months.
Yes. All right. And Peggy, you're on. Peggy, remember it's her 50th birthday so that we can have some kind of we never lose an opportunity to have a party.
It's funny when Going Batty reached out to me. They're like, "Hey, are you free for this show? We really want you out." And I'm like, "Yes, but it's my birthday." They're like, "Hey, this is Reno. We got you. We will make it good." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I have faith. Keegan is good at having a good time. So I have faith that you'll. And we are the biggest little city, but we are the 24-hour. We never sleep city.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in 60 days or so.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thanks,
all right.
You too.
And thank you everybody for joining us. If you have any questions, just let us know and go to quiltshowreno.com.